So what is rapport and how do I develop it with my clientele? These are two really important questions. My answer to them, however, might surprise you because I'm going to start off by telling you what rapport is not. Rapport is not a technique, and rapport is not a step in the process. There are two types of intentions related to rapport. One is in order to, the other one is in service of. In order to means I'm trying to get you to like me or connect with me so I could get a more in-depth answers or questions I ask you so I could build more value in order to sell you something. Do you see how duplicitous, maybe even manipulative that is? I mean, everyday example of an order to is you're in an elevator or a lift and somebody steps in and you're standing there and you're really uncomfortable. You're kind of looking over at each other and then just looking straight at the numbers. All of a sudden someone says to someone else, "So, how's your day?" Now, they don't really care. They're doing that in order to mitigate their own feelings of awkwardness. Because if they did really care, put this to the test. Next time that happens to you, hit the emergency stop and say, "Oh, I am so glad that you asked that question. Let me tell you about the struggle." That person's going to freak out, hit the next floor and run for it. So don't do that. Rather, what rapport is a relationship of positive responsiveness, where the interpersonal dynamic creates an element of trust that it not only provokes, but evokes interaction that creates a generative moment. Something that couldn't exist outside of that specific dynamic that you developed with this other person or other people. So how do you go ahead and develop rapport? Well, a presenter I have a lot of respect for, Beth Tasca, would say, "What's your story?" See, what's happening within determines how you affect everyone else without. What you're doing in terms of who you're being affects how everyone is feeling around you. This is critical. So before you have an appointment, think about your story. Why did you originally get into this industry? What was critically important to you? What problem in your life did it solve? What level of pain or what issues did it resolve? And what happened as a result? What is the greatest part of your own personal hero's journey that resulted from you entering into fitness? See, I'm not saying you share that story with everyone. Some people want to hear that story, and that'll bring you closer together. Some people, they don't want to hear it. It's about their story. But if you're thinking about that story, and you create it, and you refine it, and you get it to the point where it actually induces an emotional state when you tell it to yourself within a span of 60 seconds, and you bring that energy to the person in front of you, you're going to be operating out of a state of vulnerability, authenticity, and compassion. And you bring those elements into an interaction, and rapport will occur automatically unless you're just in front of the wrong person. In other words, it's not going to work all the time. But by trying to create rapport through techniques and tactics, you more often bring about the exact outcome you don't want, which is disharmony between the two people because they feel like somehow something's not right and they're being manipulated. So again, if you want to develop rapport, who you're being determines how people are feeling around you, and how people feel dictates heavily what they do or not do. So focus on who you're being, not on the tactics or what you're doing.